Motorola stands as one of the old ones, the leaders in mobile technology that somehow got sidelined amidst the confusion and chaos as everyone aimed for the race to the top. With the launch of the first generation Moto X, they proved that they still have the mojo to create a product that stands out. With the launch of the second generation Moto X, it takes all the best things from the first generation device and supercharges it with top of the line specifications. So is the new Moto X a winner? Hi, this is Dhruv Bhutani from FoneArena.com and we'll find out just that in our video review. The second generation Moto X is a premium device through and through. From the moment you pick it up, you can see how comfortable this device is to hold. From the slim bezels to the aluminium band running around the device that feels absolutely luxurious, the metal band also acts as the antenna. Over at the front of the phone, all you'll see is the 5.2-inch display that is covered by a Gorilla Glass 3 coating. The edges of the display gradually curve and meld into the metal band at the sides of the device. Up top and below the display are the earpiece and speaker grills. There's also the 2-megapixel front-facing camera with 4 IR LEDs lined up next to it. On the black variant, these LEDs are nigh invisible. As we mentioned earlier, the entire glass front gradually tapers away at the edges and draws your attention only to the gorgeous display. The sidebands of the phone are aluminium and have a dull grey finish. The right side of the handset sports the power button and the volume rocker, while the left side is free of controls. There's a micro USB port at the bottom of the handset, while the top of the phone has the 3.5mm audio jack as well as the SIM card slot. Moving over to the back of the phone is where you really start seeing the industrial design work done by Motorola. The entire back of the phone has a gentle curve to it that makes it fit better in the hand. Independent of the back that you choose, you'll see the trademark Motorola dimple that is once again brushed aluminium and looks great. Above it is the 13-megapixel camera and the dual LED flash setup, which is very distinctive. The LED flash is placed within a transparent ring that runs around the camera module. We've got the leather-backed variant and we've got to say that it feels absolutely amazing. The quality of materials is top-notch and the grippy leather back helps get a better hold on the phone. The Moto X measures under 10mm thick even at the bulge and tapers down to just 3.8mm at the edges, all of which makes it a much more ergonomic phone. All said and done, the hardware on the second generation Moto X is exemplary, and we've seriously put this in consideration for one of the best built Android devices out there right now. Let's talk about the software now. For the most part, this is stock Android 4.4.4 KitKat, but Motorola has thrown in context and gesture-aware features that are a step up from those on the original Moto X. The most impressive of these is Moto Actions that employs the IR LEDs to sense your hand above the display. The phone then lights up the AMOLED display and shows you your notifications at a glance. Next up is Moto Display that in some ways can be considered an extension of Moto Actions. After swiping your hand over the display, you can tap any icon that shows up on the screen to see notifications from it. Needless to say, you can also swipe straight into the application. The final addition to the handset would be Moto Voice, which is the company's take on voice control and in many ways builds on top of the already excellent Google Now service. It adds a wide range of additional commands and works even when your screen is switched off. It is impressive to see how well Moto Voice works, and the cherry on the pie has to be the ability to use it completely hands-free. The rest of the software package is rather Spartan to say the least. This is pure and clean Android, very similar to what you'd get on an Nexus device, and your usage experience will be what you make out of it. Moving on to the performance of the phone. From a relatively old chipset to one of the latest ones under the hood, a lot has changed over the course of an year. The new Moto X is powered by a Snapdragon 801 chipset, the same that powers other flagships like the HTC One M8 and the Samsung Galaxy S5 amongst others. Clocked at 2.5 GHz, it is paired with an Adreno 330 GPU. Other specifications include 2 GB of RAM and 16 or 32 GB of storage depending on the SKU that you opt for. The phone, as you'd imagine, is blazing fast with no compromises at all on performance. The lack of any bloatware or skin further accentuates this. From scrolling through web pages to launching apps, you'll not be left wanting for power. The most obvious upgrade on the second generation Moto X is the shift from a 720p to 1080p panel. The screen remains an AMOLED display, which means that you'll get the deepest blacks possible with slightly oversaturated colors and not completely accurate whites as a compromise. Brightness levels are great and so is sunlight visibility. Where the display really shines is in viewing angles. It allows you to view content while holding the phone almost perpendicular to your face, Not that you'll ever be doing that in real life. The camera on the Moto X is a 13 megapixel unit, as in most ways, an upgrade over the 10 megapixel clear pixel sensor from last year's model. As we mentioned earlier, a ring runs around the module with a dual LED flash embedded in it. The ring helps to diffuse the flash a bit, but the difference isn't as stark as you'd imagine. We found that the camera really comes into its own when you switch on HDR mode. Images are generally good, though there's always a hint of noise even in well-lit scenarios. There's also a modicum of extended controls in the form of manual focus and exposure rings. Videos shot on the phone are generally very good, and you can also capture 4K footage, though you obviously won't be able to view that on the handset itself. The front-facing 2 megapixel camera on the phone proves to be rather disappointing with slow shot-to-shot times and noisy low-quality images. The 2014 edition Moto X comes with a whole range of connectivity options that you'd expect from a high-end handset. You'll get the usual set of radios including Wi-Fi 802.11, A, G, B, N and AC as well, Bluetooth 4.0 LE, GPS, GLONASS and NFC. The phone ships in both 16 and 32 GB SKUs, but unfortunately there is no SD card expansion here, which is a bit of a downer for heavy multimedia consumers. We think Motorola could have done well by offering a 64 GB variant as well. The battery on the Moto X is a bit polarizing. Clocking in at just 2300 mAh, the phone still manages to last at least a full day of usage. Battery life can be very subjective, but in our usage the phone was close to dying at the end of a full day with 3 email accounts configured and constantly syncing, day-long WhatsApp use, an hour of music streaming, a couple of photos and videos, and about an hour of calls. We'd rate that quite good, and with careful usage you should be able to get about 2 days out of the device. We really like the new Moto X. The phone is built like a top-end device and performs like one too. There are tangible improvements on all fronts, and the stock-ish Android experience is not something we'd complain about. We do feel that the camera could have been slightly better in low light, but that's something that can be said about most smartphones out there for what it's worth. The battery too could have been slightly more beefy given the top-end hardware credentials. That said, we found the Moto X to be a very compelling device that adds some very welcome and useful features that genuinely aid usage. Would we recommend the new Moto X? Definitely yes. The new Moto X is priced at Rs 31,999 in India. If you have any questions about the device, please do let us know in the comments section. If you liked the video, please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.